Former Prime Minister and Lalabopanglia MP Peter O'Neill speaking at the opposition's press conference held at the Crown Hotel today. Former Prime Minister and Lalabopanglia MP Peter O'Neill has issued a strong call for leadership change, citing economic mismanagement, deteriorating services, and a national outcry for government accountability as the primary reasons for a vote of no confidence against the Marape government. Speaking during the opposition leader's press conference today, O'Neill said, "We are now in the 6th year of the Marape government that came with big promises of prosperity. Despite record, high global commodity prices and unprecedented budget revenues up to 27 billion kina annually, our country is in worse shape than ever." O'Neill criticized the government's handling of public services and economic indicators. Education standards have declined, health services are barely functioning, law and order is collapsing, and youth unemployment is exploding due to lack of opportunities, he stated. He further pointed to the alarming rise in national debt. In just 6 years, debt has ballooned from 30 billion kina to nearly 70 billion kina. Any thinking person with an economic background should be deeply concerned. Referring to his own resignation in 2019, O'Neill called on Prime Minister Marape to follow suit. "I made that tough decision when the people demanded it. You cannot lead when the nation is screaming for change," he said. In a direct message to Marape and the ruling Thankyou party, O'Neill urged them to listen. Thankyou's legacy does not give it the right to hold on to power. The very people who gave you that mandate are now asking you to step aside. O'Neill endorsed Sir Peter Ipatas as the opposition's alternate prime minister, calling him a leader who has answered the national call for reform. Thankyou Governor Sir Ipatas has clarified his acceptance of the alternate prime minister nomination ahead of next Tuesday's highly anticipated vote against Prime Minister James Marape, saying it is not a personal or provincial ambition but a collective response to a constitutional opportunity for change. Sir Peter underlined that his nomination came not from his province, political party, or personal desire, but from a shared understanding across the opposition that the country needs an alternative. "The Thankyou province didn't ask me to be nominated. People's Party didn't ask me to be nominated. It was a collective decision. I respect it on behalf of the country because the country needs change," he said. Having served extensively in previous governments, Ipatas said his decision to take on the role was grounded in national interest and a sense of duty. "I've got nothing against the PM James Marape, vote for him if you believe he's still the right choice. But I am here to provide an option for this country, which this country needs." Sir Peter has called on all MPs, including those from his own province of Thankyou, to make a conscious decision that reflects the needs of both their electorates and the nation. Prime Minister Honourable James Marape has firmly rejected calls by former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill to resign, describing them as premature, politically motivated, and disrespectful to both the Constitution and the judiciary. In 2019, Mr. O'Neill lost the confidence of his entire government caucus, Marape said. "By the time the Laguna camp was formed, we had over 80 members of parliament on our side. His resignation came as a result of political defeat, not moral high ground. Today, in 2025, I continue to enjoy the confidence of the majority of members of parliament. The government remains intact. The people's mandate, expressed in the 2022 national general elections, is still with Thankyou Party and its coalition partners. What is troubling is that while this process, sanctioned by a court order, is underway, Mr. O'Neill has taken it upon himself to demand a resignation. That is not only politically contradictory, it is too disrespectful to the court-ordered process now before Parliament. If he truly believes in the rule of law, he should allow the process to run its full course." He accused Mr. O'Neill of trying to sabotage a lawful and democratic mechanism by politicizing it in public. "You cannot be the puppeteer behind the vote of no confidence and at the same time demand resignation to avoid the outcome. That's not leadership, that's opportunism. It shows he is afraid of the very process he initiated." Whether it was the 2020 Vanimo camp, the 2021 legal challenges, or various alternate prime ministership campaigns, he has been the common thread. His political comeback efforts have failed, and yet he continues to pull the strings. The people deserve better. Highlighting the people's voice, Prime Minister Marape reminded the country of the results of the 2022 elections. Thankyou Party returned with 39 seats, the largest ever under the organic law on political parties and candidates. PNC, by contrast, suffered heavy losses. That's the clearest referendum on who the people trust to govern. After years of failed attempts to reclaim power, it's time for him to call it a day. Let younger leaders emerge. Let Parliament function without the chaos he continues to orchestrate from the sidelines. Prime Minister Marape pointed to a clear economic recovery taking place under his leadership, a recovery confirmed by leading global financial institutions. Contrary to the misinformation, the economy in 2018, the final full year under Mr. O'Neill's government, recorded -0.3% growth, but that figure masked deeper fiscal weaknesses and a stagnating non-resource sector, he said. Today, under our leadership, Papua New Guinea is growing stronger across multiple sectors. The Asian Development Bank, ADB, has projected our GDP growth at 4.2% in 2025. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, forecasts 4.7%, and the World Bank continues to highlight positive momentum in agriculture and non-resource sectors. These aren't our figures. These are from independent, globally respected institutions. The growth they confirm is led by real gains in agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, which benefit ordinary Papua New Guineans. He added, "This is happening not by accident but because of deliberate efforts to stabilize and broaden our economy after years of narrow focus on resource revenues. Our government has worked hard to unlock and maximize benefits from major resource projects. Porjura is back in production, and the Wafigalpu project is progressing toward finalization. Just recently, I formally wrote to the CEOs of Harmony Gold and Newmont to reconvene with the state negotiation team to conclude the terms." Prime Minister Marape also confirmed progress on Papua LNG and Nyang LNG, which are expected to significantly contribute to national income in the years ahead. These are not the one-sided deals of the past. Under our negotiations, PNG stands to gain over 55% of total value from these projects, the highest share ever secured by a PNG government. Marape noted that infrastructure development and economic inclusivity are central to his reform agenda. The Connect PNG program is linking resource corridors with rural populations. Roads, bridges, and services are reaching the people, and this is how we transfer wealth into the lives of our citizens. He also referenced today's relaunch of the National Development Bank, which symbolizes the restoration of economic institutions dismantled in the past. Step down and give space for a fresh, credible alternate voice to emerge, one that can hold the government to account responsibly and rebuild public trust in the democratic process. Papua New Guinea deserves better. Let the court-sanctioned parliamentary process take its course. Let leaders with integrity rise. And let us focus on building a stronger, more united, and prosperous nation, free from the failures of the past. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more updates on PNG News Brief.